Bemis.
And I'm Andrew Matheson for double coverage, our week
12
semifinal CCS playoff Division 3 preview.
Yes.
Say that 10 times fast.
I will not.
Why would you?
You know what's going to be really fast is this game.
Yes, we have one game on the slate. Last remaining county team, the Aptos High Mariners, the champions of the Santa Cruz Coast Athletic League, hosting Willow Glen on Friday night at 7 p.m. Willow Glen 6-5, but do not be fooled by that record. They are much better than their record suggests.
Yeah.
They finished 6th in the Mount Hamilton division, which is an A league, as part of the what league?
The Blossom Valley Athletic
Blossom
League.
Valley, thank you. The Mount Hamilton division. 6-5 record, but they're probably playing their best football right now.
Yeah.
They've won 2 straight, including last week's game against Lee, in which they defeated Lee 42-14.
There you go.
That was close.
You're doing the math in your head.
20-some points
Yeah.
is what it was.
You mentioned how good this team is,
Yeah.
for how deceptive that record is. Sure, they finished poorly in a very talented league. You can almost,
Well, they finished strong in that league.
No, I know, but they
it
finished
was
poorly overall.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, but they have 5 losses. 4 of them are 3 points or less.
Yeah, including 3 weeks ago against Piedmont Hills, another playoff team. They lost by 1 point. That's their only loss in the last 4 weeks.
Yep.
They beat a big Leland team, 35-17. That kind of sparked this run of late.
Yeah.
And Leland was another playoff team, and,
I mean,
and a possible open division team had they won.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks, they've scored 40-plus points 3 times this year, twice in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that win over Lee, their star running back, Hakeem Mays, rushed for 282 yards and 4 touchdowns.
The dream.
He was the show. Coach Randy Blankenship of the Aptos Mariners, of your Aptos Mariners, said this of Mays.
Unless you're not following Aptos.
No, you're following Aptos. Okay. We're following Aptos. That's why we're here. He's just lightning.
Who's this? Who are we talking about?
Hakeem Mays.
The dream? Okay.
Who is 5'11", 170 pounds. He's also their standout defender. He's just faster than you could even imagine. He's lightning in a bottle. If he sees a crack, he's gone. He's really patient. He's a tough runner, like our little sophomore.
Limit those cracks, Aptos.
Yeah. Leave him no daylight. So, that said, all he's done on the year is rush for nearly 2,000 yards.
Sure.
And 23 touchdowns.
There you go.
He also leads the team with 5 interceptions.
And he had 4 last week, like you mentioned. A 28-point third quarter for Willow Glen against Lee. Lee was 8-3.
Yeah.
No slouch.
No slouch, Roski. Well, you know what? Aptos is no slouch.
There you go.
Both these teams.
Good segue.
Yeah, thanks. Both these teams have one CCS title in their history.
Yep.
Willow Glen's coming in 2010, Aptos coming in 2003, but you know those Mariners. We saw them last year in the rain against Valley Christian.
Yep.
Played in the D3 final last season. What are your thoughts and just some of the things you've heard or read about Willow Glen? I heard they're really big up front.
Yeah.
They're huge.
And I mean, I kind of like Aptos because we haven't really seen them make too many mistakes this season. And they really haven't been they haven't been put in that position for the most part.
No,
they had the Clovis East game, they had the Encinal game, but they've been really close.
Yeah.
Even the losses for Aptos are just incredibly close. Willow Glen had 4 turnovers last week, and they still got the win.
I was just going to say, yeah.
I mean, they have 4 turnovers this week against Aptos. Aptos is capitalizing on that.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
I fully believe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Willow Glen can't have a repeat of last week, even though they won that game.
No. They have, in addition to a talented back, they have a good receiving core. They're very speedy. They run the spread. But their quarterback has been likened to Ben Roethlisberger, which is...
He's a big boy.
Yeah, he's 6'3", 246. So he's already passed for 13. Yeah, just like a lot like us, because we look heavier on film here. So us plus some.
Sure. Gregory Brewer likes a challenge, though, I imagine, to take that kid down.
Seriously. Hey, you know what? Against Patrick Powney, that 250-pound running back last year, they chopped him like a giant redwood.
Yeah.
So size mismatch or no, they were gang tackling.
Yeah.
So Trent Paganini is their quarterback. He's
Paganini?
Paganini. There it is. You nailed it. He has passed for 1,400 yards, essentially, 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Okay, so they like to run the ball. They like to spread the field a little bit.
Yeah.
But they have a quarterback that obviously can
throw,
pick you apart a little bit. It sounds like.
And he'll throw to Mays too, obviously.
Yeah.
So
might as well.
4 shutouts this year for Aptos. Can they get a 5th? I don't even think that's what the focus is.
No,
they're being fairly realistic here.
Yeah, just get to the next round, get the win,
Seriously.
get to the championship, and have a chance at going up against either Burlingame or St. Ignatius. Not to look too far ahead, but I think what would you think? They'd probably rather have St. Ignatius because they. Right, that game from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, I would think
that's
so.
looking way too far.
Yeah,
ahead.
no. I mean, they have to get back. I initially thought that Aptos would roll this game, and I have them winning still, but I think there's going to be a really good game.
No, yeah, yeah. I mean, just
you sound pretty certain about this.
Well, no, I feel like they had some demons coming into last year's postseason. They had a lot of first round losses, kind of stacking up, and a couple of. Like we mentioned, the St. Ignatius game where they had leads, and they kind of coughed them up in the second half.
Yeah.
They got over those demons against Monterey, against Saratoga last year. They proved that the playoffs aren't as terrifying as they had been in the past with their big win last week against Aragon. And I feel I'm kind of building upon that.
Yeah, there's definitely a better veteran bunch. I mean,
yeah.
And a nice mix of youth in there as well. But Alex Joe, quarterback's been solid. Their offensive line, defensive line have both been solid. Their kicking game's been solid.
The juniors it's a junior-dominated defense.
Yeah,
and the defense has been kind of this unheralded unit that we haven't really talked about that much of this season. You mentioned the 4 shutouts, but that's one off the school record, and pretty much the entire defense is coming back next season.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great job all year by Greg Buer and Dalton Wheatsall and the rest of the bunch. This is the thing, is Aptos has been without its leading rusher for weeks.
Yeah.
Miles Bowden's out, so I mean, but it doesn't matter. They just stable horses. And they've been playing so well. And,
next guy up.
They've been winning the close games early and just routing. They've had a running clock 7 times this year. They didn't get it last week, and there was a missed PAT.
Yeah.
So Randy Blankenship kind of joked with his kicker, "Hey, thanks, I got to play everyone because of you." But I mean, this is a solid Aptos team, and they haven't been making mistakes.
No.
And when they do, they don't. It doesn't even make a close game out of it. They make a mistake or two, they're still annihilating people.
To say that it's going to be another walkover opponent, though, we're not saying that.
No, not at all.
Yeah. This is going to need another complete effort. Willow Glen is very good, but I feel like Willow Glen can't do what they did last week and expect to win again.
Yeah.
But then again, with that being said, I do like Aptos just because I feel like they're playing sound football right now.
Yes.
They're confident. They got rid of all that past playoff crap that may have been going through their heads, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
And their eyes on the prize. They went to the final last year and they want to get another chance.
I think it's a solid group for Aptos, but I call the margin of victory like 10 points. I know Aptos hates kicking field goals, but they're going to win by 10 points.
I'm gonna go 14.
All right.
I'm gonna say it's pretty close though. Maybe 7 points, and they get something late, I think. But I like Aptos as well by 2 scores.
You're my boy, Blue.
It might be single digits, but we both like Aptos winning.
You don't want to do a running clock, Chad?
No.
Running clock. Running clock. Great game coming up this weekend.
Real quick, just to recap that other game, not recap it, but St. Ignatius 3-8 St. Ignatius, but we know that means 0 when they play in Division 3. They're going to be visiting Burlingame High School, looking to go 12-0 on the year and remain undefeated. That game is 7 p.m. on Friday. Of course, the winner will take on the winner of Aptos Willow Glen, and they'll meet in the final the following Saturday, December 7th.
Nice.
But that does it for this week's show. Of course, only one team remaining. That's all we're going to talk about is the Aptos Mariners. And but you can check out all of our stories. We're going to have an Aptos. Jim Seamus is working on an Aptos column for Friday's paper. Check that out. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Tout. Like us on Facebook. Feel free to send us any questions via Facebook as well that you may have about Jim's beard.
Or lack thereof.
My hair or lack thereof. And anything else in between about football.
Or our ability just to ramble.
Yeah.
So,
read us online as well at
www.santacruzsentinel.com/.
.com/.
Football!
Oh.